Welcome to the Life Daytime Talk Show.
This is your life to live. Be happy, be proud.
Great day wherever you're watching from. We welcome you to the Life Daytime Talk Show. I am your boy, Silky Slim Bishop Michael L. Smith. This is
My name is Willie Brooks, as people call me, the best SRO officer in any school in the state of Louisiana.
and this is
Hey, I'm Travis, aka Coach Stu, Big Stu, not the little one.
All right, awesome. We have two amazing men. You're in for an amazing show. Of course, you can see we're not your normal host of the show, but we are in here substituting and surprising you because this particular show is geared towards the father. Our show is Fathers Matter, and we want to be here to reinforce and advocate that to our African American and any other race that is watching as well about fathers who matters. So our topic today, of course, is Mother's Day versus Father's Day. So we want to have some amazing dialogue about those conversations because apparently, from my experience, it seems like there is always some kind of partiality, favoritism in regards to why we celebrate Mother's Day versus Father's Day. You get more energy when mothers are celebrated versus fathers. So we're going to have that discussion today. So what do you say, Mr. Willis? How is Mother's Day celebrated different than Father's Day?
Well, with me, being a father, and I'm always trying to figure out, Dr. Mike, how, we go out, we spend time and money, things that they want, but it's like I'm always getting a grill, something cooked with them. What would happen if we go buy them pots and pans? Right. So, when I says, according to the National Retail Federation, 84% when it comes to the mothers, we plan a nice dinner for them, but versus 76% for us. They don't plan for us like we plan for them.
My thing is this, Mike, and Mr. Brooks here. I mean, sometimes these mothers think that they just do everything, just because they clean up, change a few diapers, which is important.
Right.
Sure, we can't do it without them. But hey, we do stuff too. We take the kids to school. Sometimes we may change some diapers. We the disciplinarians.
Right.
So when little James acting bad, who has to handle that? So hey, we should get some credit too.
So I think it's a joint effort thing, and because it is a joint effort thing from the father and the mother, that everyone should be celebrated at the same level of appreciation. And of course, most people do gear towards celebrating their mother versus their father. We deal with a society where most of, and we live in a single parent home, so sometimes fathers are just not there. So a lot of times that conversation takes place because mothers do have to play that dual role where they are playing the mother and they are playing the father. So we understand that as well. But again, because there are some great men in this hour, I think we still should take that same energy and celebrate those men who is stepping up to the plate and taking care of their seed. You agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. What about you, Stu?
So yeah, I definitely agree. A man should play a very important role in their child's life because it's very important to be there because you're impacting the kid in more than ways than you think of.
Just by your presence.
Yeah, just by being there.
Again, like, share, and tag while you're watching it. I don't know if you're on social media a lot, but there will be a lot of memes coming up next week about Father's Day versus Mother's Day. I'm going to share one with you, and you can comment the way you feel. If you agree, you don't agree. Mother's Day commercials, diamonds on sale for $3,000. All right, versus Father's Day commercial would say men's Target cargo shorts on sale for $11. Right. That is a big
From Big Lots.
Yeah,
from Big Lots. Not the Big Lots. not the Big Lots, but from Big Lots.
That is a big price difference. Would you think so, Sue?
Definitely. We get the slippers with the no socks.
Another meme that you may see coming up in a couple weeks. Every restaurant in the world will be packed on Mother's Day on Sundays, right?
Right.
But then what they want us to do for our day is go outside and barbecue.
Right.
We'll throw something on the grill. How is that fair? Now, I know you love the barbecue. You put down a meme sauce on your barbecue.
Yep.
I had the pleasure of eating his barbecue. He do some mean oysters as well, all right? But needless to say, this man of God, who is an amazing father, I watched his life and taking care of his children as well. He's a part of his children's life. But I don't think on that day, he should be barbecuing for himself when you're the one that should be celebrating.
You know, Dr. Michael, what's so funny about that? You're so true. I'll be cooking for Father's Day on the grill that she bought me for Father's Day. Right. So I'll have to work in order to get a good meal.
Well, Brooks, you might have to give me some pointers because I can't cook a lick. So, hey, you might have to show me how to grill some of those grilled chicken or whatever you got going on over there. 'Cause me, I can't cook a lick.
That's why you need a wife in your life so she can cook for
I need
you.
one to cook for me.
All right. Well, I was taught by my mom. She taught us never depend on the particular person. She taught us how to cook. She taught us how to clean. She taught us how to wash clothes. And the list goes on. Just in case, somebody transition or just in case, you in transition, whether spouse or helmet, you know how to take care of yourself. It's just
But I'm tired of buying food every day. I gotta stop at the Raising Cane. I gotta stop at the Golden Chick. I need a home cooked meal.
You need a home cooked meal. All right, brother. All right, so we're gonna move a little bit. I'm allowing Mr. Willie to talk about some topics here about absentee father versus a present father. So go ahead and take it away, Mr. Willie.
For ones that don't know, I am in law enforcement. I'm a human trafficking instructor, so I'm always searching stats. It's 1 out of 4 children do not have a father in their home. So that's something that I believe that we need to address. Why is that happening? Could it be the father just absent? Or could it be that the mother don't want the father in that child's life? So these are some things that we hope that will help you on today on how we can get these fathers back in these children's lives.
Could I interject right quick, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, please do.
I just want to share, I was talking to a young man, I kind of mentor on the side. He followed me on Instagram, and he asked me a question, why is his wife trying to keep his children away from him? He's an amazing father. He wants to be a part of their life. But because they're going through a personal situation in their relationship while they're married. So therefore, she's trying to hurt him because he hurt her in another way. So she knows that the only way he can do it, of course, is the children. So one of those reasons, maybe that statistic is true, is that because there are women that are keeping their children away from the father when they no longer in a relationship with them, or they're in a bad place, or the man moved on to another woman.
And I like to add to that because, as a kid, sometimes when your father's not around, you don't know why. But once you get older, you realize we're dealing with women yourself while these things happen.
Exactly.
It wasn't me.
Exactly.
I didn't want to come around. It was mama.
Exactly.
Mama didn't want me around.
Exactly.
She did things to keep me from being around.
Exactly.
And most of the times, the only way they really can hurt you is through the child.
Exactly.
Because nothing else works.
Exactly.
So they try to hit you where it hurts.
Exactly.
And so, that happens a lot in our community and throughout all the communities. Because we all have friends who grew up with dads not in the home. I know most of my friends' dad wasn't in the home, and I can't say it affected them now, but in some type of way, it probably did affect them.
Right. And I think we should grow as a community and a people, to have that conversation and have that dialogue. That people have to mature. And hey, if it's just a co-parenting situation, it's a co-parenting situation. Let's put our emotions aside, our feelings aside, our disagreements aside, and let's do what's right for the child. Whatever we got, whatever baggage we got, whatever pain and whatever hurt we got, don't let that affect the child. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should mature enough to be able to have that conversation with whoever that woman may be in our lives. Being that we do have statistics and being that this conversation is a global conversation, I don't think it's something where it's just localized to a particular region, but this is a global thing that affects everybody. And we have statistics say this is going to affect the child in the long run. So I think we, being a part of our children's life where you have two parents, that we as fathers, we have to make sure we make the sacrifices to make sure that we are in that person's life, not only financially, but mentally, going to their football games, going to their basketball games, showing up at the school, working with them with their homework. Whatever we can do, make that sacrifice and make that time and effort to be a part of their life.
I agree.
I agree also, Dr. Mike. That's a thing, we always hearing a lot about. One of the things you hear about deadbeat dads and, where are the men? Men are not part of their children's lives, but we're here to represent those men that are presently in their children's lives. I just met Stu, but just listen to Stu. Stu sounds like a solid father, even though y'all now, Dr. Mike and I are the only ones that are married right now. So Stu's not, but he's a father.
Call me.
Yes. I'm still not, but I wasn't.
I need some help. I need some help.
But what I would like to say, Dr. Mike and I have been knowing each other for a few years now, and I see how he's into little Michael's lives, and I'm I'm always in my daughter's lives. I believe in God for sons, but I have daughters, so I'm that father that whatever it is that my daughters want to do, I'm there. They get disciplined, but they also get the love that they need because my children are in the classroom, with friends that talk about they don't have their fathers there. So my children are able to come home and tell me about stories of what they heard about when their friends don't have their fathers. So there are fathers out there that are in children's lives, and I want to encourage fathers to continue to be in your children's lives.
And I just wanted to add on to what you were saying. I'm the disciplinary in regards to Michael at my house. My wife, she's more, making sure he's okay emotionally, certain things. But I'm the disciplinary, so I'm always the bad guy, and it's okay.
That's okay.
He'll understand it later.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think at the same time, conversations should be had when there are two parents that they should allow the other parent to be the best parent they can be. And I think a lot of times one parent may have an expectation like, you should be this kind of father because they saw Shaq or LeBron James or Michael Jordan to be this kind of father, right? And they expect you to hold up the same end. But that's not always the case. Our lifestyles are different, our finances are different, our education is different, our experiences are different. So therefore, we may not be the same father that maybe you had in your life, or maybe somebody that you may social media, but allow that particular man to be a father at the level they can be a father and respect that.
That's good.
I definitely agree because in my household, well, I'm single now, but when we were in the house together, I wasn't the disciplinarian. I made mom be the bad guy. I was the good guy. So you cry, you come to me. And now you're like, what's wrong? I cheer you up. But what I have noticed, because I have a daughter.
About to say that.
So initially in the beginning, I wanted a son so bad. Like so bad. But then I got a daughter, and I was a second grade teacher at the time. So I began to have a little soft spot for the little girls in the classroom. So, and I noticed that these little girls really look up to a man and want to be just like them and want to make them happy. My daughter always tells me, I want to put my hat on like you or something like that. She wants to do everything I do. She said, I'm coach and you coach. She want to do everything I do. So I believe that I'm having a big impact on her in her life. And just in kids' life in general, they like a good male role model.
Right. That's totally good. I'm a byproduct of that conversation right there. Like, I had a stepfather, but my father was always working. He still always worked. He's 70 years old, and he still go to work 7 days a week. Not 6, not 5, 7 days a week. So a lot of times I want him to be at the football game. I want him to be at the basketball game. I want him to be a certain thing. He was not there because he was always working. Of course, at the time, I didn't understand it. And I had a grudge against him for years until I got older and clarified that, hey, you didn't come to my graduation. So we had that dialogue. And I was able to put that behind me, but God allowed other men to be a part of my life to mentor me, to get me to who I am. So a lot of times that same conversation you just had, you may not have a physical father there, but God will send men in your life to help usher you to play that role as a father, like my band director, my track coach, my basketball coach, and the list goes on, my assistant pastor. So the list goes on. That have other people that play the father role in my life. And I think we should also applaud those men who maybe are not your biological father, but they daily played the role as they were.
That's right.
And that worked for me. That helped me to get me to who I am today. If I wouldn't have met certain people in my life, I totally believe I wouldn't be who I am, though I have a biological father. But God allowed that mantle to be passed on to someone else to play that role to get me to where I am today. So I think that also, while we're celebrating Father, we want to celebrate those big brothers. We want to celebrate those mentors. We want to celebrate those men that's playing the role as an amazing father, even though that's not your biological child.
That's much respect to those guys.
You did share that you're not married, but you do have a beautiful daughter. Tell the viewers, what does it take to co-parent?
So, Mr. Brooks, let me take a deep breath, Mr. Brooks. So co-parenting takes some communication. For one, communication, you have to be on the same page.
Right.
If mama is sending the kid to this school, she needs to let you know she's sending that kid to that school. So you guys can be on the same page and so you can be involved. But if one parent is not telling the other parent what's going on, how would you know? And you won't be able to co-parent effectively. With me co-parenting, it's a give and take. It's a learning process because I'm new at this. So this is my first rodeo, but hey, somebody who's going through this after me, I can say, hey, look, don't do that. That ain't worth arguing about. Just let mama do what she want to do. And if things start to affect you, maybe financially or stressing you out, then you step in. Co-parent is just all about communication. All about communication.
Yeah, that communication part is so important from each parent, you know. Rather your child got in trouble at school today, hey, relay that to the other person. Hey, your child want to talk about the birds and the bees, have that conversation. Hey, your child want to go to LSU versus Southern, have that conversation. Never allow it to be a one-parent decision in regards to that child's future. And I think you showing respect at the same time that you're communicating to say, I respect your opinion as being the father. I respect your opinion as being the mother. So that's because you didn't make the child by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think sometimes women, you know, feel like, oh, this is my child, this is my baby. If I'm leaving, he leaving. Like, sis, you didn't make the baby. How does it happen? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think, but having that conversation in regards to communicating, that's so important to let you know you're respecting that other parent. Again, like, tag, and share while you're watching this conversation.
So Mike Brooks, there's also an ugly side of it. And the ugly side is when mama don't want to let you see your kid.
Oh, wow.
How do you combat that? Like when your child's mother is not letting you see the kid, what are some things that you can do to combat that?
Legally, you know, you have rights as a parent. So if you got to get that in some kind of documentation form, you do that. Two, not only that, I'm sure you know your kid go to school, and the list goes on. So be a part of that process. If it's just, I'm showing up today to sit in the class with my son, I want to spend time, you know, have those conversations, because again, we talked about that earlier. A lot of times, one parent may desire to keep their child from another parent. Again, we know that it's not fair, but again, the child shouldn't suffer because of you guys are in a bad place. So I think knowing your rights as a parent, and if you have to do something legally to make sure you do have a healthy relationship with your child, you do what you got to do for your child.
Okay, so when it comes to financially, Brooks, I'm coming to you because you look like you got all the money. So let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. So do you give the money directly to the mother, or you go buy what the child needs and bring it to the child? What do you think about that?
My wife and I, we are together, but from what I've seen and counsel couples, because my wife and I, we are marriage counselors also, it really depends on the two parents, on what works for them.
What about trust? Maybe trust?
Well, again, it comes, you know, it depends on whenever they separated, you know, do he still trust her with the money that he give her? Now, if you notice that you're giving her money for your son or your daughter, but you don't see anything coming out of it, the child's tore up, her hair's not being braided, she's always with the same old clothes on, then something's going on. But you have to trust each other. Now, it's up to you if you feel like you just need to go buy the things for your daughter or your son yourself, but they're going to go back to the mother now, because I know in the legal system, sometimes they want you to send the money to the mother, and you have documentation or receipts that you sent this money to them. I've heard people say that don't worry about how the mother's using the money, you know, but again, once you see that your child is not benefiting from the funds that you're getting, then you need to go back, as Dr. Mike said, to the go back and do it legally, because hey, this is what I'm seeing. I'm giving her mother $500-600 a month for my child, but look at my child. Now, at the end of the day, regardless of how much money, and this is just me giving suggestions, regardless of how much money I'm giving her for my daughter or my son, if my child's still not receiving what they need, I'm gonna still make sure that my child is taken care of. That makes sense. Now, there are fathers out there like, I'm not doing nothing else. I done gave you $600. That's on you. But no, this is my seed. That's mom that's just being ignorant of not, doing what she's supposed to do. So at the end of the day, yes, the court ordered me to give this amount. But at the end of the day, if that child still called me, I'm not gonna say, I just gave your mama this money. No, I'm daddy. So regardless of what mom does or don't do for that child from the funds that I give her, my child's gonna always get provision from me because she will not want anything regardless of what mom does with the money.
Sometimes in a relationship, when you together, sometimes the father takes on a bigger role when it comes to finances. But once you split, don't you believe that mother should do 50% and father do 50%? Because the mom doesn't have that same perks that she had when y'all were together in a relationship. So maybe one time you used to go buy all the shoes, all the school supplies, but now since y'all split, no, homegirl, you gotta buy the shoes, I'm gonna buy the school supplies. Like that. What you think about that, Mike? Dr. Mike?
I want to piggyback on what you said earlier. It's a per occurrence situation. So if I'm giving you $500 for carrying every week, and I know you're responsible, I'm gonna be at peace to know you're gonna take care of my child. But if I know you out here with Louis and Gucci and Fendi, and my child got big locks and dollar store, no, it's gonna be a problem. Right. I'm gonna go buy, and then I'm gonna make sure they have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's knowing that person. So every situation is different. On both ends. Back to your question, I'm always a 50-50 guy. That's just me. This is how I live. That's just me. I don't want to throw my beliefs on nobody, but that's just me. All right. So, but again, we have the kid. I think we should both do our part financially. If the tuition is $5,000, here goes my 25. Well, your 25. If the trip costs $8,000, here goes my 4. Well, your 4. That's just the bishop. All right. So that's just how I look at it, and that's how it's going.
I wish you, Bishop, because it was 50 when y'all made the kid. That's right.
That's right.
It was 50-50.
That's next question.
We went 50.
All right. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this amazing conversation about Fathers Matter. I'm having an amazing time with my co-hosts, of course, Mr. Stu and Mr. Willie. Come back and see if we want to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you back shortly.
Yes. Hi, I'm Willie Brook, the author of my new book, I'm Tired of Taking This to Bed. Listen, before you get married, before you get engaged, even before you start dating, you need to read this book. I know you're supposed to start off with chapter 1, but chapter 4, the check engine light. Before you purchase any car, before you drive any car, you identify why that check engine light is on. Why am I sharing this? If you notice that there are any pre-existing problems in that man and that woman, it does not mean that you can't marry or date them. You just need to know that you need to go to the manual, the mind of the manufacturer, which is God, and figure out why that check engine light is on so you can deal with it and so that you don't have any issues that you'll be taking to bed. I promise you, your life will be blessed from my new book. To purchase this book, you can go on Amazon in the book section, Willie Brooks, I'm Tired of Taking This to Bed, or you can go to Facebook on Finishing Becoming One. Again, on Facebook, Finishing Becoming One, and you can order the book through the link there. I promise you that your life will be blessed.
You can find I'm Tired of Taking This to Bed at Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. Grab your copy today.
Welcome back to this amazing show, the Life Daytime Talk Show. Again, I'm your boy, Mike Silverson. This is Brooks. And this is
Stu.
Again, we are co-hosting today. We're filling in. Of course, we're not the normal host of the show, but this is a special edition because next week is Father's Day. So our topic, of course, this particular show is Fathers Matters. While you're watching us, go ahead and like, share, and comment. We want you to get engaged with this conversation. Maybe we don't know it all. I'm about 26.
I'm 27.
He's 27, and this Stu as well.
I'm the young 21 hot boy Stu.
He is hot boy Stu, and again, he's single. He needs somebody to cook. What he said. All right, but needless to say, we're back, but we don't know it all. We're just sharing our personal experiences about fathering, all right? We're going to shift a little bit. Our topic right now is talking about single versus married and dating when it comes to fathering. Our first question is, should a single man be dating when he has an infant child?
Let me take that, Mike. Let me take that. Okay, so I believe a single man should be dating with an infant child simply if he needs some help, because there are women out there who can really come in, help you out a lot with that kid. They can show you how to change a diaper if you don't know how to change, help you feed the kid, help you nurse the kid, all type of things. So if there's a good woman out there, because I don't believe just be bringing your kid around all different types of women. If there's a good woman out there that can help you, why not date? You know, what's the issue?
I'm trying to think like a woman, because I know somebody gonna comment. Mm-hmm. Somebody's gonna comment and say, "Well, you had the baby mama with you." You know, you're saying, I hear you. So we try to go ahead and just throw that out there right now, Dr. Mike. So, because I know you just stated that, you know, where's that someone that can show me how to change the diapers? And so, what would you say whenever you read that comment from that lady that's watching? Well, why don't you have that baby's mother there helping you do that, show you to do that?
Sometimes the baby mama has burnt that bridge. It's a wrap. You gotta move on. You gotta move forward. So that's why when moving forward, you gotta find someone else who can help you. Find you a helpmate.
We'll put it into that. He's stuck on the helpmate. So what we do want to talk about, and this is a situation, and this is a current situation for a lot of men who's trying to date, who's trying to move on, who's trying to get past a relationship of the baby, quote unquote, mama, right?
Right.
So in their moving on, and they're bringing a new woman around their child. So a lot of times the baby mama, she have opposition, she have resistance, she have a lot of lip, she have a lot of conversation that she don't want the new boo, the new bae, your new girlfriend to be around her child for whatever her reasons are. So how do you navigate around being in a healthy relationship that you're starting, and at the same time trying to give the baby mama peace that, hey, this is my decision, this is my life, you either gonna accept it or not. So what do we say in that situation?
This one is stupid.
Hey, this can be a big problem. This can be a very big issue, especially depending on how old that kid is, because kids gonna go back and tell mama everything that went on. But honestly, in all seriousness, I believe it's gonna have to come down to respect. The baby mama, the child's mother, she's gonna have to trust that you picked a good person to be in that child's life. Because if your child's mother's dating somebody, hey, you may not like it, but hey, you gotta deal with it. So even when it comes to her, she gotta deal with it.
Right. And I think what ultimately happened with this particular conversation is, again, like you said, the child is going to tell everything at the same time. That baby mama, she's gonna interrogate the child every time that child come home.
First 48.
Exactly. Ask him or her absolutely what happened today, what you eat today, where you go today, who came by, and the list goes on. So the child's gonna get in the habit of having to answer these questions every time they come back from with the new girlfriend and daddy. So I think, but the ultimately piece about the matter is, if I am that parent, I'm thinking like a woman, as Apostle said earlier, if I see the new girlfriend, the new bae, the new fiance, new wife, really genuinely concerned for my child, meaning their safety, their well-being, I think there's a peace that comes after a while from time. Right. So that trust level is built over time, that you really can physically see that the new woman really genuinely loves your child, regardless if you mad with the baby daddy or not. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think if that mother, if it's a real mother who don't have a whole bunch of trauma going on, not about a bunch of drama and foolishness, if she really see that the new girlfriend have right motives and intention towards the child, I think a peace comes about that from the trust aspect.
Also, as the relationship progresses, if you see it's getting a little more serious, then introduce that boo to the child's mother. And then once you did that, you did your part. You let her know who you're dealing with. You let them talk to each other if they decide they want to talk. But you open the door for that.
Right, because that person is going to be around your child. You want to make sure they're not no pedophiles. You want to make sure they have no record. You want to make sure there is no inappropriate things going on. So those conversations have to be had. I totally agree with that. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yes, something that Stu said. Will that father put his child in a predicament or in a situation where there could be danger, or the girlfriend or the new boo would mistreat their child. So I'm just gonna throw myself out there. If something was to happen between Lady K and I, and she went her way and I went my way, I know without a shadow of a doubt she's not gonna bring anybody in her home around our daughters. You know, because she's gonna make sure. Correct. She's gonna make sure that this person is gonna respect her and her daughter, so she's not going to bring anybody around. So that's how that mother should feel about y'all's child. That, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I may be feeling some type of way, but I know that he's not going to bring any type of woman around his daughter.
Okay, let me ask you this, guys. Do you think it's different when it comes to the mother dating outside the father? Like, I don't believe a mother can bring different guys around their kids, especially if it's a little girl. Yeah. Because
you're setting precedents for how that child's going to act out when they get older. I totally agree.
So I think a woman should be more careful with who they're bringing around their kid.
I totally agree, which kind of alludes into our next comment, our next question. Said, when should the new partner be introduced to the children? Like, if you have children already and then you're on the dating scene, when should that person come into their home and say, hey, this is my boyfriend Jay, this is my girlfriend Keisha? Like, what time span did you think that should be?
That's a tough one. I really don't have a definite answer. I think you gotta gauge the vibe. You just don't want to keep bringing people in, out your house. You got Tim, you got Jack, you got John, all of them your uncles, all of them your daddies. You're confusing the kid. So I think you should wait till we get a little serious. Let's go Steve Harvey, 90 days, maybe. I don't know what you guys think.
I say 6 months, at least the minimum 6 months. I say, because you're gonna know people in the season. What I mean by that, you may be a different person in the fall than you are in the summer. You may be a different person in the winter than you are in the spring. So situations brings about a different person. Right. Different seasons, different situations. Life itself brings about a different person. So I think at least 6 months, you'll be able to ascertain what kind of person that you bring around your child, because you had a chance to witness those different seasons of life things happening.
So, with me being a girl dad, I talk to them all the time, and the number one thing is you want to set the boundaries. So if I'm allowed, let's say if I was a single father, I don't want my daughters to constantly see different women coming around, because when they get older and they start dating, I don't want them to feel that this is the norm, that I can just have one boyfriend after another boyfriend. I want them to see that, hey, he's in a relationship with this one person when they do come around, and that's it. So we have to make sure that this is the person before we bring that person around. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to pass it back to you. When I was younger, we used to take our dates who we're dating to and let them meet our father, let them meet our grandmother before they meet any other children. I want to hear what the elders have to say about it. You know, my grandmother would say, let me look into their eyes. Let them meet the adults, so you can find out more about them, see what they have to say about it, because you just don't want to continue just to introduce your children just to anybody when you're not sure if that's the person or not.
Totally agree. So again, great dialogue, guys. Amazing answers. I think our viewers will be able to pull and extract what they need for their personal situations. I'll talk about a little bit thing for those of us who's married. I know you're still waiting too, so maybe this will help you for when you go and remember these couple tips. So our director have given us some other questions to ask. This is more geared towards the married people, meaning that you're on contract legally with someone, all right? So the first question is how to ensure the marriage doesn't go stale. Of course, Mr. Brooke, he is the expertise in this. I've been married going on 11 years. I think he's 25 coming up. 25 years. And marriage is a job. It's work. It's not for the faint heart. Yes. So these are some of the things that they're asking from a male's perspective. One, how to ensure the marriage doesn't go stale. What's your answer for that, Mr. Brooke?
I can go on. I'm just going to share a few things because I am an author of a book called I'm Tired of Taking This to Bed. And it's dealing with marriage, especially, Christian marriage, because we can get so busy. We're in a busy economy now. But to keep the marriage hot and heavy, my wife and I always say that we're dating. we try to keep the dating mindset. I make sure I have a motto that, your mind shouldn't roam if you got a good thing at home. So we make sure that we communicate. Outside of church, we talk to each other, and I always tell couples, I tell my wife, we're going to have our conversations that we had before we got married. We're going to have our conversations that had our ears, so we talk to each other, and so we keep things hot and heavy. Yes, we have gotten older. Things are not as tight as it used to be when we first started dating. But, she's a mother of two, so body has changed. But I still encourage her. Let her know how beautiful she is. Let her know how, just how much I appreciate her. And we date. If you got to go lock them kids up in the closet to have fun, explain y'all, don't go to jail. But do what you have to do, Dr. Mike, and do what you have to do to have fun. Keep her mind going. Send text messages. I tell her one thing, I'm gonna pass it. Do not allow our daughters to hold your phone.
That's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. And you don't want that. No pictures, just words. But I will send you a text message, and if Kamari read it, that's your fault. Right. I'm gonna let mom explain.
Great answer. So again, Stu, if you still can chime in. I know you may not be married, but you've been in a relationship before.
Right. So I'm just listening to you guys to get some pointers, So I'm gonna ask you this, Dr. Mike. How do you think keep things spicy?
How do you
in the marriage?
I'm more at my age again. I'm 26. Again, at my age, I'm more emotional.
Okay.
Like I have to be emotionally connected to you. Like I don't care how beautiful you are, physical. Like there has to be an emotional connection for me. That's spicy for me.
Okay.
And that goes to respect, that goes to communication, that goes to trust, that goes to loyalty, and the list goes on. Because if I got all this going on in my head about something that we are at odds about, a disagreement, that ain't not gonna be spicy for me at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a problem for spices for me. That's just me at my age. You're a little bit younger, so anything might get you all situated in hot body.
So like Brooke said, do you send those text messages?
I do encourage those text messages. Mine may be a little more inappropriate than yours because mine probably pictures. I'm a picture person. So just a business.
All right, so y'all send those texts.
Picture person. So that's just that. But how do you navigate when the seasons of your marriage change? Because when you first get married, you're blissful, everybody's happy, everybody's in love, you can't get enough of each other, you just want to be around. But then the years go by and like you said, bodies start changing, conversation, disagreement happen. We allow outsiders to come into our relationship and other people's opinion. And then things start to change. So how do you cause that thing to get repositioned back to where it needs to be? Again, this is your topic, this is your book that we're putting a plug in for as well. So how do you get that back to where it needs to be so you can feel like I have something that I'm holding on to versus something I want to let go?
I first learned how to drive a car from a standard, or some say a stick shift. And so when my brother-in-law at the time told me, you need to listen to the sound. The sound indicates when you need to go to the next level.
Okay.
You can't stay where you're at, if you listen to the sound. Now watch, if you don't shift, you're gonna burn the clutch up. And now you don't have a vehicle. So in order to get to the next level, I'm always listening to my spouse. And whenever the sound changes, I shift. Okay. And that's what happens to a lot of relationships is that they're not listening. That was my biggest thing, is not listening. Okay. If I just shut up and listen, I'll know that, hey, things have changed now. Things that was working 5 years ago is not working now. So I'm more of a talker. And, when I say, what, I had to get to the point where, Brooks, you need to just be quiet and listen to your spouse. And I can tell just by hearing her things are changing in our marriage, and I need to be able to adapt, and she needs to be able to adapt. Like I shared earlier, bodies are changing, emotions, now. I'm constantly trying to encourage her about, who she is and she's encouraging me. When you're navigating in your marriage, be genuine. Be you. Be you, and things will go so well. But like I said, I'm going to render the floor.
I just want to pack about you talking about communication, because in the marriage you'll learn this as well. You probably know this already.
I'm taking a lot of notes.
You'll learn this. There is something called non-communication as well, where the spouse is not talking.
Deal with it.
But then there is a conversation that's being had as well, and you have to know your spouse enough to be able to read their non-verbal.
Look, sometimes they won't say nothing.
Won't say absolutely nothing.
So let me ask you
And
this.
you have to know how to
watch
read
this.
their non-verbal.
So, is marriage something like customer service? The client's always right?
No, I don't agree with that. I believe there is something they say: happy life, happy wife. I say happy spouse, happy home.
That's right.
Everybody got to be happy. I don't think it's a one thing. We heard that for years. Grandfather, great grandfather, like they can be cheating, they can be lying, they can be manipulating, but then let the wife be right. That's all that matters. But it still not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think both parties, both spouses should be happy, and then you have a happy house. That's my concept on that. All right.
You guys have enlightened me a lot.
All right. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show.
Yes.
Again, tag, share, comment. We want you to be a part of this amazing conversation. We've taken over the ladies' show, but the guys are here today. They'll be back next time. So
They might be back next time. They might be back.
Co-host
So
the
when
next
you
time.
tag and share that you want us back.
Right. That's right.
We're just here today as a special edition. Again, we hope you guys enjoy. Again, share, and tag.
We're going to deal with motivating the man.
Motivation for men. Men like compliments too. Tell us we look nice. Tell us good things. We want to hear things too. I have a 3 compliment rule. I give you 3 compliments. You gotta give me 3 compliments. Give me some inspiration. I believe that men like compliments. It makes them feel good about themselves. Stroke their ego sometimes. Make them feel like a man.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that whole concept, that affirmation. And especially coming from someone that you love, that you're doing things from, that you're providing for, that you're making sacrifices for. It's easy to get it from outsiders. Easy, so easy, right? But to get it from those that you're loving, that you're providing for, that you're in love with, that makes a difference, and it gives a spirit of appreciation and gratitude. Of course, our men, African American men, there's a stigma already that we're no good and that we're dogs. And the list goes on, and that's not always the case. There are some amazing men out there, right? So again, when you do have an amazing man, you might not like everything about him, but then there's the majority of things that you do let them know that you appreciate. Hey, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you doing this. You might be bad. Y'all might have an argument about something so small, but never let that take away from the things that you do value and the things that you do appreciate, because we do get it bad from policing, from racial profiling.
That's right.
Going into the store, automatically assume that we're going to steal something. We don't have the money to afford something. Like, we get so much negativity from the public already. At least when you want to come home, you're getting that positive affirmation and encouragement to build you up to go back out into that unjust world again another day.
I agree.
Make sense?
That's right.
I agree.
That's right.
Because you don't want to go get beat up outside in the world, then come home and get beat up again.
I totally
Don't kick a man while he's down.
I totally agree. Now, if you're not getting that, I'm big on this. My wife will tell you that. I'm big on self-care.
Right.
Self-care, making sure you're okay. I'm a pastor, right? But there are thousands of pastors that have committed suicide because they don't exercise or implement self-care. Meaning, what do you do to be able to exert? Or what do you do to be able to detox? What do you do to be able to channel your emotion, or redirect your emotion in a different place? When you had a hard day at work, we had a hard day at ministry, we had a hard day with kids, we had a hard day at life. What do you do to get away? From exercise. I go to the gym, I come to Reese, she take care of me. I get pedicures, I get manicures. I do it all, right? Because I understand, if I'm not okay, nobody else is going to be okay that's connected to me, all right? So your mental health is so important, and we have to own that. It's not a gender thing, it's a human thing that everybody needs to make sure that you're okay. Because I can't have my family. I can't help my children. I can't help my community. I can't help the church if I'm not okay. So I'm big on vacations. I'm big on getting away. If I see some Louboutins, I'm big on buying them.
Okay.
That's just me, all right? So you got to be big on self-care, regardless if anybody like it or not.
When it comes to self-care, I believe that everybody has a happy place. So you gotta do things that make you happy. Like Mike was saying, for me, it's the gym. When I work out, I feel good. I can release some stress.
Right.
That's my zone. That's my place. I believe that men need their happy place without their spouse, or without their kids, or without their girlfriend. A place that they can be them, be comfortable, let loose some stress, let loose some steam, or whatever the case may be. I don't go to the store and buy me no Louboutins. I can't do that, Bishop. I ain't on that level yet.
You what?
I can go to my gym, lift some weights. That makes me happy. What about Brooks? What makes you happy?
Well, again, me, I'm a homebody. It goes back to communication. So, Dr. K, she knows when I need that downtime. She knows when to get the girls and just take them. If I can just get my remote and be in my recliner with the AC on 60, with my little snacks, I'm good. And she will stay gone all day long. I'm talking about, I'm calling at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, like, okay, where y'all at? Where my girls at? I'm like Dr. Mike, I love vacation. If I tell her, look, I just need to go. Where do you want to go? Cindy here, Cindy there. I'll go somewhere for a weekend and just wind down. But that goes back to, years of marriage. She knows that when I go, I'm going alone. I'm not meeting nobody there. Nobody going with me. So that's going to the married couple. That's going to take trust. That's going to take a lot of, let me say it again, trust. So she trusts me. And she knows at the end of the day, I'm not tired of going anywhere with nobody. Capital T-R-U-S-T, trust.
Again, a great show. I thank God for my co-host today. We're winding down. We do want to share a personal message from each of us to our audience. Again, if you're not doing it, like, share, comment, let someone know that the Life Daytime show is on, and you can catch us on all social media platforms. But we do, at this time, would like to give a personal message to all the fathers. So from your opinion, not want to say your opinion, what would you like to express to the fathers that may get a chance to watch this?
To those young fathers, I would like to say this. If you're going through the storm right now, just weather the storm. Things will get better. Trust me, they will get better.
Let me speak to the married fathers. I would like to tell you, just continue to communicate with your wife. Communication, and keep the marriage spiced up. Let me speak just real quickly to the pastors and the bishops and the apostles that are married. It's okay to have date nights and to talk like you used to talk. I tell people, have your Adam and Eve day before the flood. Okay? So anyway, enjoy your marriage, enjoy your father, and have a wonderful Father's Day.
I would like to say to the fathers, rather you're single, married, whoever it may be the best father that you can authentically be.
Yes.
And don't compare yourself or your fatherhood to someone else. You know your limits. You know what capacity you have. You know what your expectations are from that child. Be the best father you can be. Don't try to compete or compare with nobody else in the way their relationship is with their child. I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching.
So, we have a game, guys. It's Know Your Wife Challenge. So I'm going to be asking you some questions to see how well you guys know your wife. Now, don't get in trouble now. If you don't know, you better
It don't matter.
do something. Okay, let's go. All right, guys. First question. What is your wife's favorite color? Mike.
Green.
Good job.
Red.
Great job. Okay. 1 for 1 so far. Did your wife visit Jamaica, Hawaii, or Africa? Have your wife visit Hawaii, Bora Bora, or St. Martin?
St. Martin.
Good job. Okay, you guys are on the ball.
Okay.
What is your wife's least favorite food, Mike? Liver or salmon?
Liver.
What about you, Mr. Brooks? What is your wife's least favorite food? Tofu or shrimp?
Tofu.
What is your wife's dream job? Her career, dream job.
Doing nothing.
Stay at home, I'll give you another chance.
Dream job.
Dream job.
Oh, she want to be a talk show host.
That's right. That's right. Okay, Mr. Brooks, what is your wife's dream job? I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't know if you're gonna get this.
I'm just gonna throw it out. I'm gonna say entrepreneurship with Kings and Priests Institute.
I mean, you're kind of close. She wants to be a U.S. ambassador.
Good.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of new to it.
So I'm up with points, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have one
yeah,
point,
yeah.
all right? You gotta catch up, Brooks. You gotta catch up.
Okay.
All right. One celebrity that your wife would like to meet.
Somebody they want to date or somebody just
They want to meet. So if they're alive or they're not,
Oprah.
just a celebrity they want to meet.
Oprah.
You right, Oprah. That's, okay, you on the road. What about you, Mr. Brooks? One celebrity your wife would like to meet alive or not?
I'm gonna say Morris Chestnut.
Queen Elizabeth,
Okay.
the Queen of England.
I'm up to. I'm just saying I'm up to that.
She's in the kingdom mindset. I got you.
Y'all communication might need to,
Oh,
we
yeah,
good?
we good.
All right. Okay. What is your wife's dream car?
I might get this one wrong. I'm gonna say Rolls Royce.
Good job. Okay, you're on the ball. Mr. Brooks, what is your wife's dream car?
You got a choice? I'm trying to help him out. Catch up.
He has no choice. You gotta get it right the first time. The pressure's on.
So how?
The pressure's on. Ball's in your
I'll
hands.
say Mercedes.
She wants the Audi.
Okay.
She said Audi or BMW.
I'm gonna go to Brooks for this one first this time. What is your wife's favorite gospel artist?
Favorite? I'm gonna say Dr. Alicia Liverpool.
Todd Delaney. Who's your wife's favorite gospel artist?
Do we have choices?
You gotta say this one. You don't have a choice. You
Well, I
gotta
gotta say, Hezekiah Walker. I don't know.
Okay. Mike Bishop. Who's your wife's childhood best friend?
Karen.
That's right. Brooks, who's your wife's childhood best friend?
Takesha.
That's right.
Okay.
Would your wife rather flowers in a poem or a purse full of money?
A purse full of money. You can have that.
All right, Brooks. Would your wife rather flowers in a poem or a purse full of money?
That's a tough one, but because she is a person that touchy-feely, emotional, I'm gonna say flower and porn.
She wants the money. Show her the money. Show her the money. Now, it's not your favorite hairstyle she wear. What's the favorite hairstyle she likes to wear?
She like a little color
Okay.
and curls. That's colors and curls.
She likes the high ponytail.
Okay, I missed that.
Brooks, what is your wife's favorite hairstyle?
I'm gonna say she's always worn it long and wrapped, so I'm gonna say long.
She likes the short mohawk. She likes the short mohawk.
This could be that season. Well, let's roll then.
All right, let's go.
So look, we in Mohawk season. We in Mohawk season. We get
All right, one left. All right. Okay, now this one's gonna be kind of simple, so you kind of can get this one right without even
already
trying to get
trouble
this
settled.
one right. What's your wife's favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert.
Oh, okay. Down.
I don't know that one, bro. Some kind of cake?
Yeah, ice cream and cake.
Okay.
Brooks, what's your wife's favorite dessert?
If I get this wrong, she wrong.
Okay.
Because I almost got in trouble for her birthday one year. From a place called Cocoa Bean in Hammond, it's the strawberry shortcake.
That's right. Cake.
All right.
What's the name of your wife's personality trait? Either introvert or extrovert.
Extrovert all day.
Brooks, your wife's personality trait?
Extra.
Introvert.
I just won. It's all right. I had a great time. Again, the question and answer about the wives, I won, but it was really good. Again, it's been a great show. I thank my co-host, Mr. Stu. Again, he's single, ladies, so And then we have Mr. Willie. Again, amazing show. Again, fathers do matters. We talked about earlier in the show how there's a difference celebrating mothers and celebrating fathers. Let's change that narrative this year. You have a father, someone plays a father in your life. Make sure you go all the way out. Give them that same energy that you gave your mother and those people that play the role of mother in your life. So let's try to be a part of that personal change in that narrative of their whole story. Again, like, share, and tag. Let somebody know they had a great special today. It was a takeover. The ladies will be back next week. Again, if we come back again, they will invite us. We would love to probably do a co-show. We'll talk about that. I'll check with the producers. I'm not the boss. I just know the boss, all right? But I'll check with the producers and see if we can do that. You have any final words, Mr. Stu?
Fathers matter. Good fathers do exist. As you can see, we're up here now. So let's go forward for the next couple of years. Just moving forward, try to be the best dad that you can be. And don't worry about what other dads are doing. Be the best dad that you can be.
And I like to piggyback on that, Stu. Just, you be the best father that you can be. And don't compare yourself to any other fathers. Don't compare your father to any other fathers, but you celebrate him the best way you know how, and just let them know how much you love them. Why? Let your husband know how much you respect him, and just continue on just to grow together and grow strong together.
You can follow me on SilkySmith_7 on Instagram, Bishop Michael L. Smith on Facebook. That's how you can follow me.
And you can find me at CheeseStew35 on Instagram, Travis Stewart on Facebook. Also, you can follow my gym page, The Stew Compound. I'm Stew, I'm the compound, The Stew Compound.
You can follow me on TikTok as The Best SRO. That's DABEST SRO. You can follow me on Facebook. That's Brooks Keep Me Safe.
Great show, guys.
Peace.
This is your life.